Hey guys, MC Stu here, and today we have some exciting news. We have another free event ship coming up. All right, so I was just speculating about this on this week's live stream on Sunday. If you missed that, the VOD will be down in the description for you guys. But for the past couple of years, the devs have done a drop-in event. I don't know that it has a name, but basically in between the summer and the winter event, they have been dropping in another event that is, at least the last couple have been somewhat shorter, or not shorter, but just they're kind of like an extended standard event where you just run a selection of TFOs for 20 days or something like that, and you get a free tier 6 ship. So last year was the mirror version of the Gargarin. The year before that, we got the Alachi ship, and I don't think we had that event prior to that. And as far as I know, this ship does not, this event does not have a name, so we're just going to call it the fall event, I guess. But on tonight's 10 Forward stream, they have released the information about what the ship is. The blog post and all the official information should be released sometime next week. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 10 Forward stream and get a look at this new free ship that we're going to get.
Somebody asked if this was the winter event ship. No, this is for a separate event that we have not yet announced, that we will be announcing soon, I think next week. And you will get all the stats for that then.
So we'll get a little bit more detail on the event itself. They do show us the layout of the ship, the trait that it comes with. So we're gonna look at all of the stats that come with this right now. So this is basically a Somerville, the mirror version of it. So that's been the theme, at least now for this year, with this ship coming up, and with last year's ship, the Mirror Gagarin. So let's skip ahead just a little bit here and take a look at the layout of the ship. So this is interesting, and I'm just going to leave it paused here for a moment. I'm sorry it's kind of faded out when it's paused on Twitch, but it looks like we have a command seat here. It looks like just one specialization seating, so a lieutenant commander command seat, which is also what last year's Mirror Gagarin had. We have universal lieutenant commander, another lieutenant, or these ensign, or I'm sorry, engineering. These look like these are all universal seats here, except for the last one being commander science. And I guess that makes sense because this is a raider-sized, style of ship here. So pretty interesting on the setup. So you could definitely do a nice, torpedo psi build or just a pure psi build on this. Doesn't have temporal or anything like that, but still looks pretty darn good. What does he have highlighted here? Okay, so that guy's just spec'd in this here. So it is just it looks like singular specialization seating, which is pretty standard with your event ships here. Let's go ahead and hit play, and we'll just see what they have to say about it.
Lieutenant Universal, Ensign Universal, and Commander Science.
So they are
tell us a little bit about
universal.
the design of the ship here, Jeremy.
So let's go ahead and pause it there. So we can take a look at the ship. It doesn't really matter the gear that he has on it. So it's a 3-3, which is pretty standard for your science ships. Secondary deflector, obviously. We have 2 engineering slots, 5 science slots, and 4 tactical. So for a free ship, this looks like this is going to be pretty good. I know, like on my free-to-play, my side character, do more of kind of a budget torp build with heavy psi on it. You could even go on the higher end and do something with that same kind of a flavor, I think, and do pretty well with this. So again, for a free event ship, this is pretty cool. Last year's ship was very good. I'm using it on my free to play, doing very well with it, and I'm really happy with it. And this looks like it's going to stack up to be just as good. A little different flavor, obviously, because it's a science ship, but very, very nice. I'm super pumped about this. Let's take a look at the trait that comes on it.
Or whistles, which of course I agree with. We've also got a new trait for this guy, which is Devious Routing. It gives you max HP from EPG when shields are low. Tell me about that, Jerbear.
Yeah, so this triggers when your average shield capacity across all facings is at or below 25%. So one example of that average would be like you lose all of your shields in one facing, or in 3 facings, and you have one still at full. That's still 25% average. When this triggers, it'll give you a bonus of between 10 and 40% maximum hull capacity for 30 seconds at that time. And that value It scales with your skill in exotic particle generators. I think it caps at 500 in order to get the full 40.
So pretty interesting trait there. Right off the top, like everything else that we discussed prior to coming out, we'll have to see how it works once it's in game and find use cases for it. Right off the top, I'm kind of like meh, whatever. Although if you were doing something, I don't know, something's niche like a psi tank or something like that, which actually sounds kind of fun, because you need to have that EPG in order to get that hull boost. Might be able to work something in like that. Or, even if you just don't have a lot of traits and a lot of ships and you get this ship for free and you're building a psi ship, or psi build on it, science builds attract a lot of attention and so a lot of threat and those kinds of things. So just running this for, survivability purposes on a ship in a build, that's science heavy, which is what this is, might not be a bad idea, especially if, you don't have a lot of traits and those kinds of things. So it's free trait. Like I said, it doesn't look game breaking or anything like that, but I think that, you could definitely find a place for it depending on what you're building and depending on what you already have there in your own space dock. So that's pretty much the gist of it there. They're going to release more information on this event next week. I'm guessing it would be at the end of the temporal recruit event, which would put us into like the first or second week of October. But who knows? They might overlap it since the temporal recruit isn't like a daily kind of thing. It's just availability to get a temporal recruit through that time period. We might see this before that event's over. So that'd be cool if we see it sooner rather than later, because I love free stuff and I want it as quickly as possible. So I'm pretty excited about this. Like I said, on last week's or this Sunday stream, we were just speculating about what, when this event would happen. We were speculating about what this event is even called, because I don't think it has an official name, and what ship it would be. So now we know, and we have a rough idea of when the event will be, which within the next month or so. Again, I think it'll probably go along with the tail end of the temporal event is what I'm guessing. So we'll cover the blog post when it comes out next week. They did say for sure that would be out next week. That'll have the details about the event itself, and then it'll have all the specs written down that we just looked at for the ship itself. So we are going to be getting a mirror Somerville, and I am super pumped. Stay tuned for the updates on this so that you guys don't miss out on getting this free tier 6 ship. All right, guys, I hope that was helpful. Until next time, thank you very much for watching, and stay safe. Hey, guys, appreciate you watching. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, ring the bell, and sub to the channel for the latest news updates and how-to guides.